Whoever wanted to come into a sports bar where the barkeeps know their game? Well, the Jeff Beecham Network, Multiverse of Media, has got a production just for you. The Jeff Beecham Network's Multiverse of Media. For over 15 years, the recognized symbol of excellence and the standard bearer in coverage of sports and entertainment. Whoever wanted to come into a sports bar where the barkeeps know their game? Well, the Jeff Beecham Network, Multiverse of Media, has got a production just for you. Sit down and relax as the stat boy and his partner break down the statistics in all things sports. Whether it's football, basketball, motorsports, baseball, hockey, soccer, professional wrestling, mixed martial arts, boxing, and much, much more. All are welcome. Your barkeeps here keep you up to date and in the know of everything going on in sports, while also having a pleasant conversation about it all. Your host and owner of the bar, Stat Boy Mike. His partner in crime, Dori Lou. And a host of other guests coming in. The food's hot, the seats are warm, the drinks are ice cold, and the sports talk is plentiful. Casa D-18 Studios presents Stat Boy Sports Bar. take a bar stool, and enjoy the show.
Hello, my internet fans. Welcome to another episode of Stat Boy Sports Bar, but no Dori Lou again this week. Her schedulers just don't know how to listen. Those are her words. She and I talked about it. Her scheduler to work today. Passion. I'll never get that passion versus principles right. Botch number 1, only 30 seconds in. It happens. Anyway, yeah, I know it's a botch. Yeah, I know. It happens. Can't hear you, Jeff. No sound from Jeff. I can see your lips moving, but I can't hear you talking. And say something, Zach. Say hello to the crowd.
Morning.
There,
Hello.
Zach. All right. Well, the brotherhood is here. The three of us are here to take over the duties and run the sports bar.
Hello?
There you go. Now we can hear you.
There, okay, good. Okay,
We hear you every week. So,
cool.
As soon as Dori Lou's schedulers figure out that she needs to be off on Tuesdays, she will come back to the sports bar. That's the way things work.
Got it.
Principle, we know that. Or
priorities over passion.
Make a shirt, Jeff. Make a shirt. Tattoo it on me. Exactly. Yeah, tattoo that on me too. I'll just be a walking billboard of botches. I love it.
Don't throw me with a good time, Michael.
I've used that line many a time. Remember, if you want to dictate the conversation, which, friends, you have not been doing lately, not on this show anyway, do what it says on the bottom of the screen. Super chat, super chat, super chat. It's as easy as that. Hello, Pop. Pop, I hope that you are enjoying the sunny, nice weather in Florida, because if you can tell by the sound of my voice, I am a little stopped up today because it's cold here in Tennessee. You work in the cold, you catch a small cold.
Mikey, it's cold outside.
It has reached 32
Mikey, it's
degrees
cold
the
outside.
last 6 days. And as much as I love the cold, I hate working in it.
We'd like to have him not sound like shit, but the weather will not cooperate.
He's doing his early audition for next week's Christmas karaoke, by the way.
Cheap up.
Next week, not this week. Next week.
Yeah, next week.
Since we're talking about cold, let's start off with our leadoff story on the ice in the NHL. A little bit of sad news, however. Hockey Hall of Famer, player, coach, and analyst Tony Granato has announced an MLOA, which is medical leave of absence, from his duties at NBC Sports Chicago. He shared on Twitter, and this is from his feed at Tony Granato. I debated how to share this news, but I will be taking a temporary leave of absence from NBC Sports Chicago and the Blackhawks broadcast, as well as NHL Network. I was recently diagnosed with a form of non-Hodgkin's lymphoma and will begin treatment this week. I wish I could reach out to everyone individually, but felt like this was the best way to share the news. My family, faith, and friends will be my strength to help me through my treatments. I appreciate all the love and support I have received already. With the holiday season here, cherish the times with your loved ones, as I know I will. As you can see there also, he played for the Rangers from 1988 to mid-season of 1989, and then he joined the LA Kings from 1989 to 1996, and then he played for San Jose from 1996 to 2001. He then became the assistant coach of the Avalanche and then was promoted to the head coach job for 2 years. Then he became assistant again from 2005 to 2008. Then he regained the head coach position for the 2008-2009 season, then went to assistant coach in Pittsburgh for 5 years, and then he was the Red Wings assistant coach from the 2014 to 2016, and he most recently had a coaching job in I think it got cut off he did a college hockey as well. Jeff, this is your this is your boy here. You know how much he was with the Kings, so
Yeah,
don't
he
worry,
was. Yeah, Tony was with us for the run that Gretzky was here, and yeah, it's tough. Tony's I wouldn't call him a dear friend, but definitely a good longtime acquaintance. Like I said, he came to the Kings during that era that Gretzky was here. He left the same season Gretzky left, and I still say that Burger King jersey chased him all away. It wasn't the fact that we weren't Stanley Cups or we sucked. It was just that awful friggin' jersey. Anyway, Tony's a good dude. Always a solid player on the ice, always a presence on the ice, and just as nice a presence in person, just a gem of a man. I will fondly, I fondly remember now him and Tomas Sandstrom being here, and when they were here with Gretzky and Luke and Yari Curry and McSorley when he was here with them as well. Just a great tandem. Didn't win a whole lot of championships in that era, but we had a lot of fun as fans. At least I did as a kid. Looking back, you go, good thing I wasn't adult because I'd have been even more miserable of a son bitch than I already am because of how bad we played. But it is unfortunate. Another longtime acquaintance with the dreaded C word. It's awful.
What was his playing style like? I mean, was he threatening on the ice? Was he like, when you saw him coming, did you want to get out of the way and just say go ahead and shoot, or did he get into fights a lot? What was he like for the Kings back then?
Well, no, I mean, the opposing goalies weren't Greg Goldberg or anything in that era, but I wouldn't say so much like charge on the ice like, oh shit, here he comes, but he definitely made a major impact. Again, he was unfortunately part of teams that weren't winning championships. He was in New York for a season and a half, and came to us and went to the championship game, went to the Stanley Cup final, won division championships and conference championships, but we couldn't complete the story, if you will, if we're going to phrase it by Cody Rhodes standards. So his playing style, I mean, he was a winger. He was often paired with Sandstrom and Wayne Gretzky, and they were just a force to be reckoned with. I think they get overlooked for two reasons. Again, they're with Gretzky. It's it's very much the Kobe syndrome at the end of his run with the Lakers. It's Kobe and everybody else. At that point, it was Wayne Gretzky and the other four guys on the ice. That's just an unfortunate side effect of playing with the greatest scorer in the history of the game. Just the way it is. But I remember Tony right now more as the human being, and he is so knowledgeable. There's a reason he coached as long as he did. There's a reason he's an analyst now, 30 years after his career's been over, or began, however you want to phrase it, excuse me. So I am thinking about his family. I'm thinking about his family. I'm thinking about his hockey family, particularly the folks in LA. I know we definitely fell in love with Tony Granato when he was here, and we wish him, his family, well and all the best. And we wish his doctors immediate success in managing what he's dealing with, because it's a mucker feather.
Indeed. Tony, I mean, get through this, and hopefully you'll get to ring that bell at the end when all those when you do those kind of treatments. The tradition is you ring a bell. We want to see you ring that bell, and we want you to get back behind the booth for NHL and NBC and all that. It's sad, but we believe in positivity, like Dori Lou promises us. You'll get through this with no problem.
Every time a bell rings, we tell cancer to go fuck itself, or something like that.
That one as well.
So cheers.
Indeed.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right, let's take a look at. Oh, well, how about that?
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much. But Pop, because he gives us a $10, I botched and we get a $10 super chat. I love it. Thank you, Pop. Good job. Thank you so much. All right,
Jerry with the Christmas money. You love to see it. You love to see it.
Yes, indeed. Let's take a look at the power rankings for the week, and our new, for the second time this season, number one team. They have regained the top spot, and that would be the Vegas Golden Knights at 43 goals. That is not the right graphic.
You send me what you sent me.
I think I sent you the wrong graphic. Okay, well, that's last week's graphic, but I have it here in front of me anyway. The Vegas Golden Knights are the number one team at 43 points. They moved up 2 spots. The Rangers and the Bruins are tied at 39. They each dropped 1 spot. They are in second and third place. The Canucks are by themselves in fourth at 37 points. The Panthers are in fifth at 36 points, tied with the Avalanche and the Kings. The Avalanche have not moved in 3 weeks, and the Kings are right below them. It goes by record. The Panthers are 17-8-2. The Avalanche are 17-9-2, and the Kings are 16-5-4.
Kings also suffered their first road loss this week, so the regulation road loss this week. But you know what? It was to quicken the Rangers, so I ain't mad about it.
Yes, it was. Boy, Quickie got a little bit of it's my former
Well,
team.
New York was not kind to the Kings. They lost to the Islanders in overtime, so they got a point out of it, and the Rangers came in and said, "Oh, really?
Exactly.
Come on to the Garden. See how we do."
Yeah. The Dallas Stars round out column 1 at 35 points. The Jets are at the top of column 2 at 34, followed by the Maple Leafs at 33. They are tied with the Islanders. The Maple Leafs are at 14-6-5. The Islanders are at 13-7-7. The Islanders have moved from column 3 to column 2. The Flyers and the Red Wings are tied at 32 points. The Flyers are at 15-10-2. The Red Wings are at 14-9-4. The Capitals and the Lightning are almost at the bottom of column 2. The Capitals have they both have 31 points. The Capitals are at 14-8-3. The Lightning are at 13-11-5. Pop would say, go Bolts at this time. And here's the shocker. Nashville Smashville, bottom of column 2 at 30 points. They are out of the right and into the left for the first time this season, jumping 5 big spots all by themselves at 30 points. The Devils and the
first time in forever.
There you go. The Devils and the Hurricanes are tied at 29 points. The Hurricanes jumped columns. They dropped 8 points. The Devils are at 14-11-1. The Coyotes are all by them. What was that? The Coyotes are by themselves at 28 points. The Blues, the Canadiens, and the Sabres are all tied at 27. The Blues have the best record at 13-13-1. Canadiens are at 12-13-3, and the Sabres are 11-10-1. The Oilers and the Penguins round out column 3. They are both tied at 25 points, but also the Flames also have 25 points, but they start column 4. The Wild are right below them at 24 points. The Blue Jackets are below them at 23. They are tied with the Kraken. The Blue Jackets are 9-16-5. The Kraken are 8-14-7. The Senators are down to 22 points. The Ducks are down to 20. And the same 2 teams are in the bottom of the barrel again, the Blackhawks and the Sharks. The Blackhawks are at 9-17-1, 4 weeks. This is now the 8th straight week that the Sharks have been at the bottom spot at 8-17-3. The marquee matchup tonight is the Blackhawks versus the Oilers. It's Connor versus Connor as Bedard takes on McDavid. And we'll see what the youngster can do against his potential namesake there. I think he's scratching off each arena that he plays in.
Go
have the Blackhawks
Hawks,
played the
go.
Kings yet?
Go. If they have, it wasn't here that I'm aware of. All I know is I never wanted to hear that goal song more than when they play Edmonton. I want to hear that all night. All night. Sorry, Emmanuel. Not an Oilers guy, and that's the '80s baby in me. Oiler hate forever. And if they play that I always forget the name of that song. It's been the song forever, but the Chicago Blackhawks goal song, I'm here for it all night. Yes, sir. I'm sorry. I talked over you.
It's an ESPN Plus doubleheader tonight, 10 o'clock Eastern, 7 o'clock on the West Coast.
We'll have it on, brother.
We're going to take a break, and when we come back, we have more news. Stay tuned.
Yes, and as we're in hockey, the first break we're going to take is our long ad break. We're going to show the advertisement for the documentary on one Gary Hebert. Check it out.
There you go. We'll be right back.
Gary Hebert, the man, the myth, the legend. I was amazed, and I was looking to become a better skater myself, and I wanted to be like Gary.
When you look at a guy like this, he's one of the most talented people in his profession. He's been given gifts by God.
It can get frustrating at times when you're trying things that, that maybe don't come as quickly to you as other things. And, you never really felt that sense of frustration with Gary. It was always about improvement and positive reinforcement.
Was it really the end? Was that head injury really the end? God has called Gary to continue to be a blessing to others and to be a passionate example.
My name is Gary Hebert, and this is the World Academy of Hockey, otherwise known as the Inside Edge.
I would recommend anybody that have a chance to come to his hockey school. I think it'd be well worth it. It'd be rewarding to all the kids and anyone he coaches, from whether it's an adult, a professional player, to a little kid like a Mike or a Squirt.
Gary, from day one, has been instrumental to my hockey career. I started out as a potential Division III player, and Gary brought me single-handedly through high school and into a top Division I prospect. I owe it all to Gary, the biggest legend on and off ice there's ever been.
Listen, watch, learn, be confident, and have faith. Those are the answers I was brought to. Yet, I only now am really learning how truly important those 5 things are.
Through preparation, through appropriate thoughtfulness and thinking, we can learn to untie the typical knots between our ears that drive us into underachievement and underperformance. And lo and behold, we can learn, I think, to fulfill our God-given potential.
Gary has the innate ability to make people not only better players, but better people. The life lessons they learn from Gary are incredible.
You can always remember leaving that rink knowing as a player I got better, or I had something to improve on to get better. And I think that's what you excelled on as a coach, is giving us the knowledge to know what we needed to do to get better.
There's coaches who know the game, but can you communicate and create passion in your kids and in your players? And Gary's able to do that.
Gary's got great knowledge and the great hands, but more importantly, his ability to connect with people and care for them. His communication skills, to me, really stand out and separate him, and that's why he's one of the best, in the world.
Gary's a legend. He's a special, special man.
I still get goosebumps watching that the second time.
Especially all the people I, from hockey that I, either am familiar with or grew up watching. It's cool that somebody in the extended family has got such an influence on so many people that are so influential in hockey. Very cool. So be on the lookout. We'll hear more from James about Gary Hebert coming soon for sure.
Indeed. All right, we're going to go into the realm of college at this point. But now, Pop, I'm going to give you a little bit of a heads up. This is just the way the show ran up. Thank you for the super chat, but then we have to report this. The only college game that took place this week was the traditional game between the Army Black Knights and the Navy Midshipmen. And there's the final score as the Army wins 17-11. The stats on the players: the Army quarterback, Bryson Daly, went 7 of 14 for 54 yards, 1 touchdown, and 0 interceptions. The Navy quarterback, named Ty Lavatai, went 16 of 26 for 179 yards, 1 touchdown, and 0 interceptions. On the running side, Kanye Udo had 13 carries for 88 yards. On Navy, the quarterback was the best rusher as well, 19 carries for 74 yards. On the receiving side, Casey Reynolds had 3 catches for 32 yards. And for Navy, Jaden Umbarger had 6 catches for 75 yards. This was the only game this week in its tradition, Army-Navy, of course. And I will tell a quick story about this. My military upbringing was Hollywood, where the drill sergeant or the commanding officer would always constantly be getting in the recruits' faces and yelling, and and then it's all the PT, and it's the push-ups and the pull-ups and the running. When I first learned that the Army and the Navy played football, being the age I was, I'm like, so if the quarterback is a soldier, a recruit, or whatever rank he is, and what if his commanding officer is on the sideline with the coach, and let's say he gets sacked, and he comes to the sideline, and the commanding officer comes over and starts yelling at him and tells him to do push-ups right there on the side of the field. Of course, I don't think that happens now. And and I almost went into the Army right out of high school. One of the biggest regrets I ever made in life, but that's a whole story on itself. And then Dori Lou and I were talking one day, just recently, and she said this. She said that the Army and the Marines are the muscle of the military, and the Navy and the Air Force are the brains, because the Navy have their ships at sea, the Air Force has their planes in the air. They can see from a far away distance. They know what's going on. Then they call up the Army. Then the Army comes in and kicks ass,
right,
along with the Marines. A fair assessment, I would think. But when it comes to football, Army had the better game
this year.
And yes, they Navy whites is very proper, I would say. The Liberty whites from that. But of course,
Zach, say that again.
Did you see College Game Day?
No. What am I missing?
Did you see who the guest picker was for this game?
No. Who was it?
Jeff's favorite person on the planet, Bill Belichick. I'm not gonna lie. We bash him a lot, but funnily enough, every time he speaks a word, it's just so hilarious to me because he always sounds so ridiculous.
Well, we can't bash him for this game because it's too honorable. It's Army and Navy, okay?
That look.
This is his free pass. I will give him one. Yes, I will give him one free pass on this. Oh God, here we go. I think I know what's coming.
Wait, hang on. Okay, there's something coming from the other room. Give me a second. Hang on.
I'm trying to maintain my composure, but I can't make no promises.
If it was any other College Game Day week, I would say bash the hell out of him. But this is the U.S. military we're talking about.
I gave you the tame one. Take it. Move on.
Anyway.
Next.
Upcoming.
There we go.
Of course, we talked about this last week. It's bowl game season now. But luckily, because of the schedule, this is only the first week that we can talk about. Next week will be the disaster of game after game after game. So as you can see, we have the Myrtle Beach Bowl where Georgia Southern takes on Ohio, the Cricket Celebration Bowl, Howard Bison versus Florida A&M, the R&L Carriers New Orleans Bowl, Jacksonville State versus Louisiana, the Avocados from Mexico, because apparently only good avocados come from Mexico, the Cure Bowl, Miami of Ohio takes on Appalachian State, the Isleta New Mexico Bowl, New Mexico State versus Fresno State, the Starco Brands LA Bowl, hopefully featuring LA Knight, because that's great marketing right there, as the UCLA Bruins take on Boise State, and the Radiance Technologies Independence Bowl, California versus Texas Tech. All that takes place starting on the weekend. Yeah,
that LA Bowl was upsetting because they dropped Jimmy Kimmel, man.
Yeah, they did.
Well, I mean, if WWE is wanting to continue with the college football stuff, sending LA Knight to SoFi Stadium for the UCLA Bruins with a heritage belt is perfect merchandising. Why they haven't made an announcement yet, I don't think it's going to happen. It should have happened last week, but they're really going to be dropping the ball on this one. I think if they don't. It makes sense, though.
I guess we're too smart for them.
That's why it won't happen, because it makes sense.
Maybe
it's
so.
College football and television marketing. That don't make no sense. Anyway, carry on.
Maybe so, indeed. Let's take a look at college. Do we want to do the other? Do we want to do the college? Yeah, let's do this first, and then we'll do the good story.
Yes, the good story is the best story to end the segment. Absolutely,
good way to finish out the college area. Arizona and Kansas are still your top two teams in the men's AP Top 25. Purdue and Houston again switch spots. UConn and Baylor stayed the same. Marquette went up one spot. Creighton went up two. North Carolina stayed the same at number 9. Gonzaga took a small drop at -3. Oklahoma climbed up the ladder +8. The Vols went up to number 12. They went up 5 spots. Clemson went up to 9 spots. They're in the top 15. Kentucky is number 14 at +2. And Florida Atlantic, a little drop at -4. Illinois went up 4 spots. Colorado State dropped 4 spots. BYU went up 4 spots. Texas almost took a roller coaster drop at 7. James Madison only dropped 2. Duke went 1 spot up. We have a new team in Virginia. Wisconsin stayed put. Miami, Florida dropped 9, almost out of the top 25. And Northwestern joins the list. The ladies, however, that's a lot of everybody pretty much stayed the same, going from South Carolina all the way down to the Ohio State. Everybody did not move. Those 12 teams stayed put. Kansas State did move up into a tie with the Ohio State. Notre Dame stayed put. Indiana went up. Virginia Tech and Indiana switched. UConn, Louisville, and Marquette all stayed put. Creighton and Gonzaga moved up 2. Florida State went down 2. UNLV is new. Miami of Florida is new. And North Carolina dropped 1. But the best news of all, it finally has happened. He's back on the court where he belongs. If you remember, a long time ago, we told this story about Bronny James, who is LeBron's son, who had a heart attack at USC. He finally made his debut. There he is with his dad from archival footage. That the second picture is him doing a windmill dunk in warmups. The third picture is there. He's making his game debut, and his first bucket was a 3-pointer there at the end. He had 17 minutes, went 1 of 3 for 33.3%, 1 of 3 for 3-pointers, 1 from 2 from the free throw line, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, a block, 2 steals, 4 points overall. Unfortunately, the USC Trojans fall to the Long Beach State team, but that doesn't matter. I thought about this really. I'm like, do I want to put it out there? No, I can't do that. The Trojans losing is this is more important for Bronny, regardless of the team that he played, regardless of who won. He is with the team. He is A-OK. He's running up and down the court as healthy as a horse. LeBron was in the crowd with his cell phone shooting. So good job, Bronny. Let's see what you can do at USC.
Yep.
Indeed.
You love to see that. That's good. I mean, it's again, we talk about, so young and having a cardiac episode, and he's back in the game. So that's what counts. And, Long Beach winning's always good for us old Casa dwellers, but it is what it is.
Yeah, but
go ahead, Mike.
Go ahead, Zach. Finish it off.
The upsetting thing is that, we're so glad that, he's recovered and finally able to make it back on the court. But it's like, it's so sad that these situations keep happening. It happened to Keontae Johnson a couple of years ago at Florida. He had a heart attack in the middle of the court. It happened with DeMar Hamlin.
Of course.
Monday night. I mean, Bronny, it's just like
it's
how these situations happen.
It's crazy how we've come so far with medical science and the advancements in technology to help right the medical wrongs of the world. But God, you think back, we don't do wrestling on this show necessarily, but Ted DiBiase's father, Mike DiBiase, dies of a heart attack and then in the ring 50 years ago. It's like, huh? And here we are, kids having heart attacks or cardiac episodes at the very least, however you want to define them, in 2023. Just crazy that, how far we've come and how far we still have to go.
Right. Indeed. So congratulations, Bronny. Welcome to USC.
Absolutely.
Do good for the team. And who knows, maybe in 4 years, you'll follow in your father's footsteps. Join the NBA.
It won't be 4.
No?
Yeah, it won't be 4. No. He'll probably be. Yeah.
We'll just have to wait and see. Coming up next, we're going to take a look at what's coming up on Open Mic Night, especially what's coming up at the top of the graphic there. That's coming up soon, too. Check it out.
We'll be back.
Yep. If you have not been following on Open Mic Night, where have you been? You've been missing out on a lot of stuff.
Well, some folks think it's cringe and they choose not to watch as a result. And we call those people uneducated and uninformed and idiots.
And you could go Christian yourself.
Anything but that.
Right.
All righty. Up next is basketball. Let's take a look at, we are starting with the WNBA, ladies first. The women had their draft lottery, and the winners were the Indiana Fever. They had the worst record there. They had the most chances to win the number 1 spot, 442 out of 1,000 chances. They
are the Fever, and the only cure is a good draft pick.
There you go. The Los Angeles Sparks got the number 2 pick. Phoenix got the number 3 pick, and Seattle gets the number 4 pick. Pick number 5 goes to Dallas by way of Chicago. Pick number 6 goes to Washington. The Minnesota Lynx get pick number 7. Atlanta gets 8. Dallas gets 9. Connecticut gets 10. 11 goes to New York. And the Sparks get the 12th pick because they made a deal with Las Vegas on that news. So congratulations to the Indiana Fever. This is their second year in a row that they won the draft lottery. So we'll see where it goes from there. I believe the draft lottery is coming up pretty soon. I think maybe next month, I believe, if not sooner. Didn't get a date on that one. But yeah, congratulations to the Fever. All right, folks, the NBA in-season tournament is over. And no surprise here, the Lakers are your champions. We started in the first round as the Bucks took on the Knicks. The Bucks won that game handsomely, 146-122. And my boy Giannis, when he was being interviewed on the court after the game, they're like, "So how does it feel to be guaranteed $100,000?" He's like, "Oh, we're getting paid money for this?"
Wow.
Good little joke there, Giannis. Good little joke. We'll get another money in just a little bit. The Pacers ended up beating the Celtics 122-112 on December 4th. They advanced to play the Bucks in the quarterfinals. The Phoenix Suns lost to the Lakers 106-103, and the Pelicans defeated the Sacramento Kings 127-117. So the Knicks and the Celtics and the Suns and the Sacramento Kings, each player on those teams got $50,000 each just for making it to the knockout stage. In the next round,
cake. We tried.
Yeah, exactly. In the next round, the Bucks played the Pacers. The Pacers won that matchup 128-119, and the Lakers not only won, they crushed, stomped, and beat the Pelicans by 40 points, 133-89. They were guaranteed the $100,000. That set up the final match between the Pacers and the Lakers. Lakers in 123-109. The Pacers each got $250,000. The Lakers got $500,000. Now,
that's per player or the whole team?
Per player. Each player gets $500,000 on the Lakers. And that is what's triggering this little mini rant here. First off, congratulations to the Lakers, okay? You've won a smaller title, okay? We know Los Angeles is a basketball town. We know that. It's one of the biggest sports towns in the nation. But this tournament is just full of bugs, okay? Good thing that this happened in the beginning of the season, because if this was played in the end of the season, what do? Do you go for the playoffs or do you go for the money? Yeah. In some cases, it worked out both ways. You got to win, you got the money. But of course, if you remember, I believe 2 weeks ago, it was a game featuring the Kings and the Warriors. And, the Kings had to either lose by 11 points, or Golden State could have lost by 12 points, and one of them would have advanced. And Steph Curry had the microphone on, and he's like, look, we've got the points right now. We can just cruise through this. We can stop them from playing. We don't need to worry about the win. Let's worry about the money. Look what happened. The Kings ended up beating the Warriors that day. Then Steph, if they would have played better, then the Warriors would have gotten in, and Steph Curry could have gotten a little bit of extra money. And, of course, we don't even have to touch on money in sports. We've brought up that topic many times. Contracts are huge, especially in that. And that is a bit of a teaser for what's coming up later. But $500,000 just for playing in a tournament and winning the tournament. When your contract, I have no idea what LeBron's current contract is, but it's got to be up in the $20-30 million range. If I remember correctly, it was a contract extension for 4 more years. $500,000 is nothing to him.
I actually have it here, Mikey. It reads, the number value is goddamn ridiculous. Anyway, carry on.
LeBron's contract is $43 million for this season.
See, There you go.
I said what I said.
Money, and I would assume that LeBron does not, throw his money away. I would hope that any athlete is smart with their money, but do they really need it? Probably not. I mean, I'm never going to see $500,000 unless I hit a Powerball jackpot or anything like that. I could say I could work for $500,000 in a lifetime, maybe. If I probably make $20,000 a year or so, but I mean, it's going to take me 20 years to make $500,000 anyway. So, it and the NBA is saying it's a success, but in the court of public opinion, it's probably mixed. For me, I'm glad this is over. I'm glad I don't have to report on this until possibly next season. I mean, it doesn't really affect the records yet. It could have in certain plays, but as long as why not do this before the season starts? Make it a complete exhibition. Get the factor of the regular season out. Let them play. Let them warm up. Let them get ready. Then when the games actually mean something and you're going for that trophy at the end of the season, you don't have to worry about, oh, by the way, we're the NBA Cup champions, which the Lakers have announced at crypto.com. They're going to put a banner up for it. Why? You don't need another banner up there. The only banners that should matter in any arena are the championship banners. I do not count this as a championship. I count this as, okay, we've won something. You can be proud of it, fine. But do you really have to, go out and waste all that and the spectacle? And it's like, are the other leagues going to take suit? What's football going to do? A giant flag football thing? I'm glad it's done. I don't have to worry about it till next season. I will report on it next season if it comes back. Absolutely. It is part of the season. I'm not saying I I want it gone, but I'm one of those that just I don't like it.
Following part of the show is where Jeff makes Mikey feel bad about what he said and putting his foot in his mouth. 3, 2, 1. The only banners that should be up in the rafters are the championship banners. So we'll take Bob Miller's banner down next time we go to the game, right?
Okay. Should I?
Womp, womp. Yeah.
All right. No offense.
I know you didn't mean it. And I understand that. I just had to give you a little shit. And, I wasn't going to go this far, but since the Renegade did, I'll go ahead and put it up there and just nod and smile.
Well, those are championships.
Those are championship banners. Yes,
it
exactly.
is a division championship. Well, I guess what I was trying to say was only the championships, not the big championships. There are division championships. There are conference championships. There is the Stanley Cup championship. There is the NBA championship. The NBA Cup should not be considered as a championship. You can be proud of it that you won, that you're the first winners, yes. But should you put a banner up for it? No.
I mean, Mikey, to be fair, if the Anaheim teams only put the big championships up, they wouldn't have a whole lot of banners to go up in their stadiums or their arenas.
Does anybody have Tabasco sauce for my fist?
All up in your
black
mouth.
pepper.
That's right.
It'll clear me out faster than Worcestershire sauce and
I got plenty of good sauce here.
Zach, I understand that Cajun food is a delicacy in the South, and filet of fish is definitely good across the board. Filet of sole can't taste very good now, can it, Mikey?
Oh no.
Okay, Zach, I believe you had something to say on basketball before we go to our next show.
Mikey,
go ahead.
Or actually, not to commercial, to the power rankings, but go ahead.
We've been covering it. We've been covering it the entire season. John Morant is in the news again.
What did he do?
So, Ja's being sued because he punched a 15-year-old in the middle of a pickup game.
Oh my God!
In a pickup game?
He punched a kid during a pickup game.
Yeah, he did.
For the people who don't remember, John Morant is currently serving a 35-game suspension for multiple possessions of firearms because he got caught twice. Once in the airport, another one in a strip club. But, that's neither here nor there. Now he's in the news because he's being sued for punching a 15-year-old in a pickup game, and he's claiming it was self-defense.
Oh, my God.
This guy is just baffling me right now. I don't know who is worse.
Just remember, brother, be careful what you do. Santa Claus is watching you, and he's licensed.
Right. We need the Stone Cold clip right about now, because who's writing this crap?
Okay. As far as this guy's current approach to life,
who the fuck wrote this bullshit?
Thank you.
I mean,
really.
Seriously, at this point, I don't know who's worse, him or Antonio Brown, because it's like, Mikey.
The only thing I can think of, when you're saying a pickup game, this is street ball, right? This is going to a court and just playing, right?
Punch a kid during a street game. It's like, dude,
street games get really physical. In some cases,
okay, Mikey, yes, getting physical is one thing, but you don't punch somebody in the face. Number two, you don't punch a minor in the face.
That one I agree with. You don't punch a minor.
That's an adult punching a kid in the face at the end of the day. You got an adult and an adult playing on the court, and they're coming to the point where they're coming to blows. First of all, they're not being very adult-like, are they? Second of all, let them sort that shit out. They're supposed to be grown folk. But you got an adult punching a kid. That's the story. That's the shit right there.
Well, let's see.
And as far as having too much money, I had a really good joke about the NBA players needing too much money, but that's more of a Nick Cannon joke these days than an NBA player joke. So I decided to move on from it. Anyway,
let's see where the legalities go with this one, and I guess we'll just check and see what's happening. Let's take a look at
Jeff
the
is in
power
Fuego
rankings.
today. Don't mind him.
Yeah, really. Dori Lou is happy that the Minnesota Timberwolves are the number one team again for this week at 2 weeks at 17-5. The Boston Celtics are right behind them at 16-5. Teams 1 and 2 have not moved, along with the Bucks and the Magic. All your Mount Rushmore, your top 4 teams: Wolves, Celtics, Bucks, Magic, right down the middle. Philadelphia 76ers moved up 2 spots from column 2 to column 1. And the Oklahoma City Thunder round out column 1 and staying put for 2 weeks. Champion Denver Nuggets at the top of column 2 at 15-9. Mavericks at 14-8. They moved up 5 spots. Lakers, with all the games they've won in the in-season tournament, helped them go up to 14-9. They're in the middle of column 2. Pacers and Sacramento Kings at 13-8. And the Knicks finish off column 2 at 13-9. Miami tied with Cleveland at 13-10. New Orleans at 13-11, Brooklyn at 12-10, tied with the Suns and the Clippers. We move over to column 4, the Rockets 11-9, Golden State has stayed put for 3 weeks, Atlanta at 9-13, Toronto 9-14, Chicago 9-15, and the Hornets move out of column 5 and into column 4. Utah Jazz are at the top of column 5. The Grizzlies moved up a spot, but they are tied with the Trailblazers at 6-16. They both have the same points per game at 106.5. The Grizzlies had given up slightly less than 1 point, 112.5 to 113.3. The Wizards, the Spurs, both at 3 weeks. The Pistons have now lost 20 straight games. Yep. They are at the bottom of the barrel. They're 5 weeks in. 20 straight games, one of the longest losing streaks ever, especially by a basketball team, I believe. So they really need to, I don't know what they are doing. 20
Again, I said this at the start, Daniel. The Pistons have given up their right to have a good season so the Lions can be the Lions this year. They have sacrificed their Detroit sport goodness. Not that they've always been that good anyway, but the Pistons have sacrificed themselves to the sports gods for the sake of the Lions and their season.
Indeed. We are almost at the top of the hour with another big story coming up. We're going to take another break. Big news in the world of baseball when we come back.
But first, we'll take a look at what's coming up. Speaking of big, because we have now officially dubbed this particular schedule the Weeks Are Gonna Die Tour. And it continues on this Friday.
3, 2, 1. Here we go again. Right now, let's go. Me and you, toe to toe. We can rock, we can roll. Here we go again. Right now, let's go. Me and you, toe to toe. We can rock, we can roll. You see it.
I'll be at no surrender.
Nice, dude. That's awesome. Yeah, it's a New Why not?
Here.
Well, good for you, brother. Well done.
The plan was to be in Vegas for Hard to Kill, but Paradise Kitty's going to be up there 2 weeks later, and my kitties take priority. Sorry, TNA. Love you. Glad you're coming back, but kitties supersede all.
Indeed,
now, if the newest LA Dodger wants to, loan me some of that money he deferred so I can do both, I am down for it because methinks he can't afford it.
Indeed. The news dropped just this last week. Ladies and gentlemen, take a look at this graphic that was put together by me. Shohei Ohtani, also I like to call him Ohtani-san because I do it out of respect, to sign a 10-year, $700 million deal with the LA Dodgers. Otani-san wrote, I pledge to always do what's best for the team and always continue to give it my all to be the best version of myself. Until the last day of my playing career, I want to continue to strive forward, not only for the Dodgers, but for the baseball world. I would like to express my sincere gratitude to everyone involved with the Angels organization and the fans who supported me over the past 6 years, as well as to everyone involved with each team that was part of this negotiation process. Especially to the Angels fans who supported me through all the ups and downs. Your guys' support and cheer meant the world to me. The 6 years I spent with the Angels will remain etched in my heart forever. It is a bit of a sad moment. I mean, yes, I mean, I was Dodger Blue. I switched to Angel Red. Otani-san came into play, a pitching and hitting beast. Him and Trout were 1 and 2. You know, it's not the end of the baseball world. He's just going to a different league and, you know, the other side, as you will, because when it comes to LA baseball, unofficially, it's Dodgers Angels all the way. So we'll see, you know, he's got a lot to cover up there. And of course, the $700 million is insane. I do believe this is the biggest baseball deal in history. But because we believe that Otani-san is a financial smart person, he has deferred $680 million, meaning he's only going to get $2 million a year. My guess is he is a very humble person, and maybe he doesn't need all that money all at once. You never know. That's all locked away in his brain. He made the decision. I would assume that it is a smart business decision. Yes, Renegade, there is only one LA baseball team, and yes, we know. But unfortunately, until the Angels decide to look at a map and realize that they are in Orange County, you still have to refer to them as the Los Angeles Angels, even though we know their zip code is Anaheim, California. We know this. I've said that from the beginning. There is no denying that. But for some reason, they want to be known as the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. Go figure. That's a rant that I've had many times. But, you know, we'll see what happens. You know, I mean, do the Dodgers really need another championship? Sure, why not? Can Otani-san do it? Sure. He's capable of doing it. Why it didn't happen in Anaheim all those years? Who knows? We could blame the umpires. We could blame the front office. We could blame everybody except the players themselves. We'll see where it goes with that.
You can blame my Atlanta Braves.
How so?
Well, we got one in there. We got one in there in 6 years. I mean,
I do kind of wish, though, and it is a little, I do wish Vin was still around, because to have him call Otani on a Dodgers broadcast, that would be, you know, with Otani and Dodger Blue, I would assume that Vin did that when he played for the Angels and all that, but I would like to hear it now. But, you know, that's just a little moment in my life. So we'll see where it goes. I mean, a bit pricey, absolutely, Emmanuel. $700 million. That's a Powerball jackpot waiting to hit. That's if the Powerball doesn't get hit for 3 weeks. That's $700 million. Win a Powerball jackpot and defer your money and see what happens. Just to play
seriously.
Go figure. Yeah. Thoughts, gentlemen? Go ahead.
Sorry about that. I'm again, Angels guy, you know, first and foremost, always have been. You know, I have proof of me as a newborn or infant in Angel hat. So I've been Angels from the beginning, and it sucks that the Angels couldn't get him a championship. You know, it's just I've said it since I knew how to articulate the knowledge. If Trout kept healthy and Otani kept healthy and the pitching rotation got its shit together, watch out. It all happened at the same time. And it never did one time that right. Otani's been in Anaheim. 6 years. They couldn't keep everything coalesced to make it happen. You know, hopefully this will motivate the Angels to realize that they need to do something different. I understand they fired the manager again, so see how that goes.
What else is new?
I mean, they have one world championship, and it was the guy that only just now, in the last 3-4 years, stopped being the manager. That's a problem. The owner needs to buy an atlas or a map. Clearly,
Yeah.
Throwing that out there.
We've said that for years, bro.
I know it's marketing, and I get it, and to be completely fair, when they first started playing, they did play in Los Angeles, but the idea was always to find a location in Orange County. So that's why they've always been the Anaheim Angels. That's just Anaheim didn't market well until Disneyland really took hold at the end of the day.
Right. And then they win, and then Disney sells them to Artie. I mean, go figure that one out. I would have.
The night they won the World Series, I was at that podium. Like, it still makes me dirt now thinking about it.
I think it's one of the dumbest business deals ever. I mean, regardless of
and again,
cast member at the time. I mean, it's like
you were a cast member too.
Well, no, I 05, I was a cast member.
Okay, but, so no, you weren't a cast. Yeah, number one, no cast member. Number two, I don't know all the business behind it. I do know there's a really nice, pretty championship ring in the corporate office backstage because it's been there. I've seen it on tour. I've seen it on the Disneyland specials. So I know we have it there. But it's just kind of one of those. I don't know why the decision was made, especially that day when it's like, oh, we're at the peak and we're going to go ahead and sell them. That'd have been like had the Ducks actually won the championship the first year they went in 03, and then Disney selling them. They didn't, and when they didn't have selling, of course, the Ducks won the Cup. So it just shows that Disney, their focus wasn't on sports ownership. Clearly, at the end of the day.
Indeed. So again, we'll see what happens in April when Ohtani plays for Dodger Blue. Yes, it's only 4 months away, so we'll see where it goes with that. All right, friends, it is time for the meat and potatoes of Stat Boy Sports Bar. It is NFL Week 14. The playoffs are just a month away. Teams are jockeying and going every which way you can possibly think of. Let's start off the week with what happened. Do we have the first game?
We do. I'm just going to preface the audience that shares the audience with the Greg Cherry Show and say that I am mad.
You are mad. Why are you mad that the Patriots beat the Steelers 21-18? Well, let's take a look at the stats on that one first. And the Patriots did need to win this game, but there was also a scenario for later, which you'll find out why. Bailey Zapp went 19 of 28 for 240 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception, and 2 sacks. Mitch Trubisky, 22 of 35 for 190 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, sacked twice. Ezekiel Elliott, 22 carries, 68 yards, no touchdowns. Mitch Trubisky was also the lead rusher, carrying the ball 8 times for 30 yards. Juju Smith-Schuster almost broke the centennial mark, 4 catches out of 6 targets for 90 yards. And Ezekiel did 7 out of 8 for 72. He had 1 touchdown. Hunter Henry had 2. The Steelers had only one good catcher, and that was Deontay Johnson, 3 of 7 for 57 yards. Jeff, why are you upset? What's wrong? I think you muted yourself, or you went quiet. There you go.
I hate this fucking thing. I'm mad because the Patriots won, which I never like, especially when Belichick's still coaching. But the Steelers, man, it's like they have those moments of greatness, and then they lose the fucking this season. Like, oh no, shouldn't be happening. Good for Zeke, good on Zeke. I love Zeke, always will. But man, as long as Belichick is leading this team, I'm not going to root for them. And I'm going to be bummed for my buddy Greg tomorrow. It's going to be a rough show tomorrow.
Well, at the end of the report of the week, you'll see something that will make you happy when it comes to the Patriots.
That's fair.
It is, because there was a scenario would have lost on their own will but we'll take a look at that in the next one. The next game, please, is what is the next game going to be? So I can. I did not like.
Tampa Bay and
The
Atlanta.
Buccaneers and the Falcons. The Buccaneers win 29-25, and let me bring up my stats on that one.
Thank you, Baker.
The technology here. There it is. It's coming up right now, just like that. Baker Mayfield, 14 of 29 for 144 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, 1 sack. Desmond Ridder, 26 of 40 for 347 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, sacked 3 times. Rashad White broke the centennial mark by 2, 25 carries for 102 yards. Tyler Allgeier, 9 carries for only 40. He only had 2 $20 bills in his pocket. Chris Godwin, 5 catches out of 11 targets for 53 yards. Drake London with a huge catching game, almost a double centennial. 10 catches out of 11 targets, 172 yards. Unfortunately, it just was not enough. And the Bucs and the Falcons are both 6-7, and they are both well in the hunt for the playoffs.
Go!
Indeed. All right, next up. The Ravens and the Rams. The Ravens, I believe did this game go into overtime?
Yes, it did.
Yes, it did. 37-31, the final score on a walk-off kickoff return. Matthew Stafford, 23 of 41 for 294 yards, 3 touchdowns, sacked twice. Lamar Jackson, 24 of 43 for 316 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. He was sacked twice as well. Kyron Williams had 25 carries, breaking the centennial mark at 114. Lamar Jackson was also lead rusher at 70 yards. Cooper Kupp, he broke the centennial mark, 8 out of 10 for 115. And OBJ almost broke the centennial mark for 97 yards. The Rams are 6-7. The Ravens are atop the AFC. They are the number 1 team as of right now. They are Dori's son's favorite team, the Ravens. He loves those Ravens, I'll tell you that. That's what happens in this house every time the Ravens win.
I love Lamar right now.
You love Lamar right now?
No, I do.
I wonder why. Next game, please. What's up next? Oh, this was a surprise. The Bears beating their rival, the Lions. Don't panic yet, Detroit fans. No need to panic. Calm yourselves. Jared Goff went 20 of 35 for 161 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. Be quiet, Pat McAfee. I don't know how that came up. Jared Goff was sacked. We had Pat McAfee in the sports bar. How about that? 4 sacks for Jared Goff. Justin Fields, 19 of 33 for 223 yards, 3 sacks, 1 touchdown. Jamar Gibbs went 11 carries for 66 yards. David Montgomery also had 66 yards, but he had 10 carries. Justin Fields was also lead rusher for the Bears. 12 carries for 58 yards. Josh Reynolds only had 3 catches out of 4 for 44 yards. DJ Moore, 6 catches out of 10 for 68 yards. Again, Lions fans, don't worry. There's no need to panic. You're 9-4. You're okay. The Bears can win 1 against their rivals. That's it. Next week, unfortunately, I think next week is Lions Vikings. I think I know they're playing twice in the next 4 games, so that's going to be huge when it comes to this household.
Yeah, unless Josh Dobbs breaks.
Dobbs is benched. The news came in that they're not putting him in. The Vikings are not putting in Dobbs this week.
Nick Mullins, huh?
Mullins is in.
Yeah.
Mullins is in. All right, next game. The Bengals 34-14 over the Colts. Interesting there. Both teams are still alive as well. Also, Jake Browning came into this game. Gardner Minshew, 26 of 39 for 240 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, and 3 sacks. Jake Browning went 18 of 24 for 275 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Defense didn't touch him. He didn't get sacked at all. Zach Moss only had 28 yards on 13 carries. Joe Mixon had 79 yards on 21 carries. Michael Pittman Jr. almost broke the Centennial at 95 yards, 8 of 11. And Chase Brown, 80 yards, 3 of 3. Both teams are in the hunt right now. The Colts are the number 70 seed, and the Bengals, they are below the line. They are still in the hunt, but they are not out.
Is it bad that the Bengals look better with Jake Browning than they did with Joe Burrow? That's really bad.
Hey,
really bad.
Cincinnati's over 500. I ain't bitching.
There you go.
True.
I'm like this game. This is awesome.
This one, where's Mansfield when you need him? The Browns beat the Jaguars 31-27 with Joe Flacco at the helm. We used to make jokes about Flacco back in the day.
Yup.
Mother effing Flacco, we called him back then. Trevor Lawrence went 28 of 50 for 257 yards, 3 touchdowns, picked off 3 times, and sacked 4 times. Flacco went 26 of 45 for 311 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception, and 1 sack. Travis Etienne Jr., 14 carries for 35 yards. Jerome Ford, 12 carries of 51 yards. No Centennial breaking there. Evan Ingram almost did it, 11 of 12 for 95 yards. And David Njoku, 6 catches for 91 yards, 8 targets. The Browns are currently the number 5 seed. The Jaguars are the number 4 seed. So this would be a rematch if the playoffs were today.
This is the only time I've ever said this. I want the Browns to make the playoffs just to face the Ravens for the irony of the storyline of Joe Flacco facing the team he took to the Super Bowl.
That's fair.
NFL, are you paying attention? Book it. Oh, wait, you can't. You're not scripted.
Unless
the only trouble is, outside of the few people that appreciate the irony, the rest of us will be going,
Who the fuck wrote this bullshit?
Right?
There you go.
And
indeed.
To that disparity, that Super Bowl was the Harbaugh Bowl.
Indeed. And they beat Tony Khan's Jaguars, yeah.
Oh.
You happy about this one?
Zach, you won. I'm not impressed. It's Carolina.
I was going to say the fucking Panthers. Yeah.
Well, exactly. You've beaten a team that got put in the red last week. So this was the epitome of a gimme game. 28-6, the final score. Bryce Young, 13 of 36 for 137 yards, 0 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, 4 sacks. Derek Carr, 18 of 26, 119 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, 1 sack. Chuba Hubbard, 23 carries for 87 yards. Alvin Kamara, no wonder you're upset. He only had 12 carries for 56 yards. Adam Thielen, the former Viking, 5 catches of 74 yards. A.T. Perry, 1 catch, 44 yards, the longest one of the day. Nobody else came close. But Zach is not happy because
Derek Carr.
Yeah, Derek Carr. Yeah,
Like, how do you allow him to play?
Right.
It's in his contract. I don't know.
He's dealing with a concussion. He has fractured ribs, and his throwing shoulder is screwed up.
Yeah.
But it's important for him to play. Yeah. What happened? What did he do? He threw the ball thinking it was his wide receiver to an offensive lineman. And the offensive lineman's like, what am I supposed to do? You want me to catch the ball? And he's like, no, don't catch it. Like, seriously? That's what you see.
Yeah.
Something's wrong.
Zach, to be fair, I did obtain footage of the NFL concussion protocol office after this game.
I mean, just look at it. I mean,
classic.
Is he going to join the list of the rest of the starting quarterbacks who've gone down?
Right?
I mean,
It's just unsafe at this point. This guy is clearly injured.
Then you make him play. The thing that upsets me the most is you make him play in a game that you could have started the rookie.
Seriously, this game meant absolute dog shit. It's Carolina. They're 1-0. Like they ain't done shit all year except have a game where they went, "Ooh, we actually did something today." Other than that, they ain't done shit. And you're starting this guy that's clearly needing to have a seat.
Mikey could have went in there and beat the Panthers.
I think
for real, we all could have.
I think the Panthers have given up their number 1 pick to Chicago this year.
Yeah, they did.
So,
and
who's the number 1 guy from USC? What's his name?
Caleb Williams.
Oh, the kid that wants the kid that wants part ownership in a team and he ain't gonna get it. And he needs to wake up and realize that, especially how badass he's playing right now as it is.
Well, my point is this: Carolina giving up trading away that number 1 spot might be a blessing, because if this kid from USC comes to Carolina and the same thing happens twice in 2 seasons, where they get the number 1 pick and they just squander it,
it'd be so great,
wouldn't it? Though, just a thought that
be delicious.
I did look up the because when it comes to playoff season, the mock drafts start coming up, and we got this guy from USC who's supposedly the number 1 pick. And right now it would go to Carolina because they're the worst team, but they traded it away to Chicago, who is not the worst team, but they could be. But do we really want to have a Trojan playing on? I don't know. Anyway, just a thought. Next game.
Yes. Texans and Jets.
The Jets actually won a game. I'm shocked.
Right.
How about that? 30-6, the final score. CJ Stroud went 10 of 23 for 91 yards. That's it. 91 yards.
They hurt my damn quarterback.
No touchdowns, no interceptions, sacked 4 times. Zach Wilson, 27 of 36 for 301 yards, 2 touchdowns. Both quarterbacks were sacked 4 times. Devin Singletary had 13 carries for 65 yards. Breece Hall had 10 carries for 40 yards. Brevin Jordan, 3 catches out of 3 for 35 yards. Garrett Wilson broke centennial mark for 9 of 14 for 108. The Jets are still on life support. They are not out yet, but it could be soon. Still waiting for the scenarios to come out. Don't know what the Aaron Rodgers situation is. I didn't get to see PMAC's show on ESPN, so he's making a living off of showing up on Pat McAfee's show every week, which is not a bad thing. But I mean, yeah, I mean, you got to do something while you're injured, I guess. Alrighty, next up. What's next?
Score!
Oh, what a joke this was. Okay,
right.
First off, and I as soon as Dori Lou came home from this game, my first words to her was, "What took so long?" 0-0 all the way until the 4th quarter. The last time I saw this in a clip was with the Chiefs, that they went all the way through overtime and nobody scored. All it took was 1 field goal extremely late in the game for the Vikings to win a game against the Raiders 3-0. No, this is like, were they playing hockey? Were they playing soccer? This is not a football game, folks. I was really worried because I'm even tracking the game while I'm at work, which I know I shouldn't be doing anyway. That's a big no-no. But it's like 0-0, 0-0, 0-0. What's going on? Josh Dobbs went 10 of 23 for 63 yards. Nick Mullins went 9 of 13 for 83 yards. Josh Dobbs was sacked 5 times. No wonder he's not going to play in next week's game. Aiden O'Connell went 21 of 32 for 171 yards, picked off once and sacked 4 times. Alexander Madison had 10 carries for 66 yards. Josh Jacobs, 13 carries for only 34 yards. TJ Hawkinson, 5 catches of 53 yards. Devontae Adams, 7 catches for 53 yards as well. What a waste of a game. I mean, if you 3-0, guys. 3-0. The Vikings are still in the playoffs because of this too. If it was about points, I'd have booted them. But luckily,
right,
a win is a win, no matter how sloppy it is. If you win by a field goal or you win by a squeeze bunt and the guy gets in or because of a missed call, this cake.
Josh broke Justin.
Yes, he did.
Yes, he did.
His first game back from being out 4 weeks, and he breaks him in his second catch. Yeah, okay.
Let's hope he's doing well too, because that was sad to hear that Justin came into the game just to get re-injured again. A chest injury is severe, is very severe. Any football injury is severe, but I mean, let's just hope he's okay and he gets back. Hopefully, and if he gets back in time for the playoffs, I hope.
Yeah. Seahawks and the 49ers.
The San Francisco 49ers are 10-3. They won 28-16. And the stats on that are Drew Lock went 22 of 31 for 269 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, and he was sacked 4 times. Brock Purdy, 19 of 27 for 368 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, and 3 sacks. Zach Charbonnet, with a name like that, he should have a winery. Charbonnet, 9 carries for 44 yards. CMC, 16, breaking the centennial mark, 145 yards. Tyler Lockett almost came close, 6 catches for 89 yards. Whoa, the 49ers had 2 players break the centennial mark. Deebo Samuel, 7 of 9 for 149. Brett 6 of 9 for 126. George Kittle was 3 of 5 for 76 yards. And good news to the San Francisco 49ers and when you see the power rankings.
CMC had 72 yards on the first play.
Yes, he did.
First play.
That's accurate.
Can we put up that one? I know I shouldn't acknowledge, but can I please give a thank you to that one comment there?
Oh, okay, sure.
From Antonio. Hello, stat guys. I'm digging the show. I'm locked in. Thank you for the positiveness. Thank you for watching.
Very cool.
I hope you keep watching sooner. Thank you, sir.
Much
well done.
appreciated.
Thank you.
Much appreciated for all the positivity and love. Next time, though, please super chat, okay?
Oh no! Like I said, if he's new, he doesn't know, so that's fine.
Oh, okay. If he's new, he doesn't. Okay, then that was my mistake.
You're good. You're good.
But thank you for the positivity. That's what I like. All right.
Agreed.
Next up, and the award for the biggest outburst award. The nominees are John McEnroe and Patrick Mahomes, who was not too happy because one of his linemen doesn't know where the line of scrimmage is, which cost them the game. Josh Allen went 23 of 42 for 233 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, 25 of 43, 271 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, 1. James Cook 58. Josh Allen also 10 carries for 32 yards. Clyde Edwards-Helaire 11 carries for 39 yards. James Cook 5 of 5, 83 yards, and Travis Kelce 6 of 10 for 83 yards. Don't panic, Chiefs fans. You're still safe. You've only dropped a couple spots. You'd still be division champion and all that good stuff. No need to panic. Just for goodness sakes, learn how to line up. That's all it's one of the simplest rules.
Stay one.
You don't
Stay one.
cross the ball. You cross the ball. You know, it was a beautiful play. It was a beautiful play. But when the referee can't see the ball, you know he's going to throw the flag. And then, of course, so Mahomes had hold on, Zach, I got you. Mahomes had every set, but at least he apologized, saying he doesn't want the youth of America to see him like that. Go ahead, Zach.
That was great. That was great. But you say to them, don't panic. I tell him to panic.
There's no need to.
Because the Denver Broncos are now 1 game behind.
Yes.
Oh, no. The team that got beat by getting 72 points put on them, or no, 77, whatever it was, 70 to 12, 70, you know the number.
Yeah, we did. We talked about it earlier this season.
That team is 1 game behind you now with Sean Payton. Yeah. And yes, Daniel, I will say it.
No, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. We made a promise.
I'm doing what?
No, it's not bad at all. It's not bad at all, Michael.
All right.
People need to leave it alone.
Well,
Yeah, we are not. We're not.
Just a person. She has nothing to do with a football game. Just leave it alone.
Right. Yeah, it's kind of ridiculous.
It is. What's next?
Oh yeah. Let's see here. Oh, speaking of the Broncos.
They win 24-7. And let's take a look at the numbers on that one as soon as it comes up for me. Let's bring that and let's go back over. Did I just lose it? Oh, no, I did not. Okay, Russell Wilson went 21 of 33 for 224 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Justin Herbert went 9 of 17 for 96 yards, 4 sacks, 1 interception. Easton Stick, 13 of 24 for 179 yards, 2 sacks. And Javonte Williams, 17 carries for 66 yards. Austin Eckler, 10 carries for 51 yards. Cortland Sutton, 3 catches for 62 yards. And Quentin Johnson, 3 of 4 for 91 yards.
Justin Herbert is out for the rest of the season.
It's rough, man.
He broke his index. He broke his index finger on his throwing hand.
Yeah,
and will miss the remainder of the year. He had surgery.
He's got 1 broken bone.
Well,
yeah, he's got 1 broken bone on a throwing finger, so he's out. But the guy of freaking New Orleans is playing with half his body falling off the hinges. And oh yeah, put him in. The fuck, man. Jesus Christ. Long season. Anyway.
And we're still in first place.
I will say, Carrie Underwood had me in the right mood because I was waiting all day for Sunday night, and I was glad I did.
Yes, you are, because this was the big one, which in the power rankings, I wanted to put the Cowboys at number 1. I've wanted to put the Lions number 1 ever since this one. But, of course, the Cowboys did what they were supposed to do and finally knocked the Eagles off their perch. And that's not just a promise. That's a spoiler, because when you see the power rankings, you'll see why it all worked out so beautifully that the Eagles lose 33-13. Let's bring up the numbers here.
You love
Jalen Hurts, 18 of 27 for 197 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions, sacked once. Dak Prescott, 24 of 39 for 271, 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. He's got 4 weeks to go to make good on that interception promise. Don't forget that. Sacked 3 times. DeAndre Swift, 11 carries for 39 yards. Tony Pollard, 16 carries for 59 yards. A.J. Brown almost broke the centennial mark at 94 yards, going 9 of 13. And Jake Ferguson, 5 of 8 for 72 yards. CeeDee Lamb, 6 of 10 for 71 yards. And then we had the double Monday night game. Which game do you choose? I mean, this was the shocker, because if Miami had won this game, they would have been the number 1 spot. But the Titans decide we are not going to go quiet into the night, and we are going to take down the Dolphins.
King Henry.
The King decided to step up and show the Dolphins that they will not be bullied. Not one at all. 28-27, the final score. Will Levis, 23 of 38 for 327 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, 1 sack. Tua Tagovailoa, 23 of 33 for 240 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions, sacked 5 times. King Henry had 17 carries for only 34 yards. Raheem Mostert, 21 carries, 96 yards, almost breaking the Centennial mark. DeAndre Hopkins did break the Centennial mark, 7 catches of 12 for 124, and Jalen Waddle, 6 of 8 for 79. And that leads us to the final game of the week. The
Packers.
You couldn't really tell because both games were simulcast on ABC and ESPN this week.
Yeah,
So
it just sucks that the freaking Giants, who shouldn't be winning games, especially against the Packers, unacceptable behavior.
The Giants
they play us next.
Yeah, I know.
24-22. Jordan Love went 25 of 39 for 218 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, 2 sacks. And Tommy DeVito does it again, 17 of 21 for 158 yards, 1 touchdown, 0 interceptions, 0 sacks. A.J. Dillon, 15 carries for 53 yards. Saquon Barkley, 20 carries for 86 yards. Tucker Kraft, 4 catches for 64 yards. And Wandale Robinson, 6 catches of 7 targets for 79 yards. He had his agent on the table on the field there. So, a good old Italian boy playing in New York who's from New Jersey has so many connotations on that.
Oh, man.
Leave it up for yourself there. And Pop is sick. Pop is sick.
Yeah.
The Cardinals and the Commanders were on bye for this week. The Cardinals will come back to play the 49ers, and the Commanders come back to play the Chargers, not the Rams. They play the Chargers at LA. So there you can see it. We have a new number 1 team. It's the San Francisco 49ers. And as you can see in the bottom right-hand corner, we have a new way to declare champions. King Bugs is declaring that the San Francisco 49ers have clinched their playoff spot with his royal scepter. And if you know the cartoon, you know your cartoons. That's the one where he clunks the Sheriff of Rottingham, with making the joke sirloin of beef. That's where we got. That's where I got that one from. So the 49ers are your number 1 team because they have clinched in their playoffs position. They are in. They are the first team to do so. That is the ultimate tiebreaker in my power rankings. Cowboys are number 2 at 10-3 at 421 points. They stay put at 2 weeks. The Ravens are the number 3 team at 361. The Eagles have finally dropped. They dropped 3 spots down to 342. And the Dolphins and the Lions are tied at 9-4. They both dropped 2. The Jaguars and the Chiefs round out column 1. They both have not moved. The Jaguars haven't moved for a month. The Chiefs haven't moved for 3 weeks. We go over to column 2. The Browns lead column 2 at 8-5. They are tied with the Chiefs and the Jaguars. It all comes down to points at 289. The Bills, the Colts, the Texans, the Broncos, the Bengals, the Vikings, and the Steelers all are 7-6. They are all in the playoff hunt. The Bills are doing the best at 348, going all the way down to 210 with the Steelers. We move over to column 3, 6 and 7 teams. They're still in as well. The Rams are the top column 3 at 299, Saints at 285. Packers and Seahawks are tied at 280, but the Packers have given up less points. That gives them the advantage. Buccaneers at 262, Falcons at 251. We move down to the bottom of column 3. The Chargers and the Bears are 5 and 8 at 282 and 270. And then we go to column 4, where the red is starting to grow. The Titans are at the top at 5 and 8, along with the Raiders and the Jets and the Giants. They have not, from the Jets down to the Cardinals, they have not moved. But Little Bart, with his red spray can, has taken out the Patriots. They are red. They are eliminated. My only question, I just don't know why the Cardinals have not been eliminated because they have the same record. I have not gotten that information. You would think that, or at least my thought is, they have the same record. They should both be eliminated, but that's not the case. I still need to look up on that. And also all the other X's on the side there, they cannot win their divisions. I would have the number ones knocked out, but that's just too many. So there are your power rankings, and this closes out the week for week 14.
I could tell you why.
And that pretty much, minus the shows and stuff, we're pretty much done with the show. But we'll see what happens in week 15.
So the Cardinals are not eliminated because by some miracle of the way of Jesus and the gods of the world, the Cardinals can still make the playoffs by some miracle.
What's this one? Okay, that's an interesting question. I don't know if you want to.
No. It isn't a question. It is a message to the New England Patriots and their coach.
Okay. But you are happy that I would assume that there's an X on the Patriots. Look at you getting your groove on down there.
Did y'all hear the song, or was it just me?
It chopped up a little bit. Play it
okay, hang on. No, that's okay. I'll play it on the share screen. But go ahead and keep talking. We're good.
Oh well, that's pretty much it. I mean,
okay. Well then,
the 49ers are the number one. And I will say this, my ESPN rival. I watched First Take this morning, and he has his top 5. He likes to say the list is solid or the list is fluid, whatever that means. His top 5 and my top 5 were almost identical, except for the number 4 team. He put in the Chiefs. I have the Eagles. So when we're in agreements, I can't say anything bad about him.
Yeah, I mean, it's either your way skewed or he's actually making sense. Either way, it's scary.
Indeed,
just hang on. Just wait. Go ahead, Zach. You're good. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Zach.
No, it's true. I mean, it's like your rival is Stephen A. No. My rival is Colin Cowherd. God. Just the level of things that spew out of his mouth is just yeah.
It is what it is, friends. That's your week 14.
It's one of those, it's seeming more and more that the sports analysts en masse are just not remaining biased like they used to be able to. They are unbiased, excuse me. They're very much biased. It's sad. It really is. So yeah.
It is, like I said, their creed is I'm entitled to my opinion. As am I. Yeah. I'm entitled to my opinion as much as everybody else. Whether you choose to accept it, that's on you. If you don't accept it, fine. If you want to call me out, by all means, you can do that. You can say, Stat Boy, you're wrong. You can say, Stat Boy, you're right. I would prefer to be right than wrong. But if I'm wrong,
well, that's fair. Yeah.
Indeed.
Yeah. And Jerry is perfectly within his rights to say, F Eagles fly or fly Eagles fly, and that's fine. I disagree with that, but I also have respect for Jerry because he presents his arguments in a respectful and mature way, unlike some people I know.
That's why we love Pop so much. As far as the Pick'em contest, I'm handling that privately. I didn't get a chance to get that done today, but that stuff will come out. I have a feeling that Baller G is out. I have not confirmed.
Yeah, he's been working so much here lately that it wouldn't. It's one of those we said at the top of the show. Although you botched it about 45 times. Priorities over passion. He's working, making that money, so you can't begrudge him. And we're definitely looking at a thing where it's almost Christmas. People are trying to get those extra hours in, which is why Dori not being here is not how no, it's just, scheduling is what it is at her place of business. So you can't again, it just is what it is. Okay, I'm almost done with trying to do what I'm doing here, so just bear with me here. I'm sorry. But before our last break, there we go. That's what I wanted to do.
Oh, we have the last okay. Because I don't even have a shout out. I should.
No, we're good. Just trying to. I'm trying. Just hang on. It won't work. There we go.
That looks cool. What was that?
Oh, nothing. Nothing at all.
Okay.
Just trying to make it work.
Did you ever look into Brooks Holt's, Mikey?
Did I ever what?
Did you ever look into Brooks Holt?
No. I don't think I did.
All right. Tell you what we'll do. We'll go and play the last commercial break because we're talking about our friends. We're talking about Big G. Let's go ahead and plug the friends of the Multiverse of Media. Then we'll go into the actual show.
All right. Good call.
So we will be right back. Here's how you can follow the friends of the Jeff Mitchell Network, Multiverse of Media.
All righty. It's almost time for sports bar for the week, so we're just going to go ahead and give out our shills. Unfortunately, I don't have a shout out this week. I did have a positive to give out, but I can't remember it. I actually saw it. It was a very beautiful one. Let me see if I can quickly get it.
Well, while you're looking for that, I've got my message to the Patriots and Bill Belichick for the playoffs.
Go ahead.
Okay, I'm working on it. There we go. Thank you. Okay. All right. There we go. That was a lot of effort for a whole lot of nothing, but it's all good.
Come on, Jeff. I know you want to say it.
Oh, well, Josh isn't here, so yeah, fuck Bill Belichick. Yeah, it's terrible. Yeah. Just, yeah, it's so redeeming. We still got how many more weeks to go? And he's already done? 4 or 5 more weeks?
4.
Yeah, 4 more weeks.
15, 16, 17, 18.
You'll love to see it. While Mikey's looking for his I'll get there. Damn. Oh, I closed the window. Mucker fudder. That's what I get for being.
Oh, no, you didn't.
I did. I totally did. That's okay. Shit. That's what I get for being petty. See, no good deed goes unpunished, and bad deeds are even worse, kids. Again.
I found it. Great. I found
What's
it.
Up?
Excellent.
Okay, good. Go for it. Do your thing.
All right. Dori Lou teaches us to be positive every week with a weekly positive, and this one comes from my workplace. It's also from a person named Naya Rivera. Our company logo is a butterfly.
Yes,
and I believe it is our Dreamer in Chief's spirit animal, a butterfly. There's a quote that reads, "Butterflies can't see their wings. They can't see how truly they are, but everyone else can. People are like that as well. So just because you can't see the beauty, somebody else can see the beauty. You should be like that other person and not want to, just because you can't see it, it isn't there." So that was the quote that I was looking for. And luckily, it's amazing how you can just search one thing and find it. Thank you, internet. Butterflies can't see their wings. They can't see how truly beautiful they are, but everyone else can. People are like that as well. From Naya Rivera. Well done. Woo. Good save.
I agree.
Good save.
Nicely done, sir. Again, I'll go ahead and get the plug window open. I can just paste as I go instead of trying to keep it paste. We'll just do what we do here. Boop. And so, yeah, that's fine. So let me go back to where I was. Again, you can follow the head of the channel, Renegade JJ Williams, and his daily, or at least Monday through Thursday, recaps of WWE and AEW television, Raw, NXT, SmackDown, Rampage, Dynamite, Collision, Monday through Thursday, 9 a.m. Pacific, noon Eastern, each and every day, exclusively on the Casa D-18 Studios. So be looking for that there. You can also check out yesterday's episode of Dad's Not Always on Wrestling in the archives. One of the best shows we've done in recent memory, if I do say so my darn self. We ranked our top 10 Christmas songs that are not about Christmas. And we did go in depth on what that means repeatedly over the last few weeks. So be sure to check out that show. Again, we got our shit in under an hour. I am proud of all of us that we got everything done in an hour. We don't do that a heck of a whole lot, getting everything in when we need to get it in. So the fact that we pulled it off in an hour was very fulfilling, to say the very least. I don't know why that went away, but here we go. Ring of Honor Final Battle will be this Friday. Our next watch along. That'll be, I think we're going live at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific. Not 100% sure, which is why there's no time on it, but that will be Friday. That'll be followed up by the Greg Cherry Show Christmas special, which will be Saturday right around midday. It won't be the open mic night slot. We're still going to do our classic every Saturday time slot, 8 p.m. Pacific, 11 o'clock Eastern of open mic night. There is that. Let's see what else we got. Yeah. We'll just go over here. No, don't want that yet. Don't want that yet. Don't want that. Nope. Hang on. We'll find it where I was. Just a minute. Oh, I was so prepared, and I would just had to be the petty asshole. See what happens when you're petty, folks? Yep. Also, this coming Thursday, after Talk Wrestling, of course, we're hoping technology and health line up accordingly. The return of TNA Throwback Thursday as we march closer to the advertised Hard to Kill. This Thursday, we're hoping we do a throwback episode covering the very first ever TNA pay-per-view from all the way back in 2002. That'll be this Thursday night coming up at 10 o'clock Eastern, 7 Pacific. Then we move into Christmas week celebrations. And let's be real, it really kicks off with next Saturday, the 23rd, the eve of Christmas Eve, as we present the second annual, the show that started it all on the Karaoke Madness open mic night, Christmas Eve karaoke. It's just karaoke, period, but we're doing our Christmas Eve again this year because that's just the way it lined up. It's a beautiful thing. Everybody's invited. We know a lot of people already have Christmas Eve plans, Eve of Christmas Eve plans. We have weekend plans to go out of town. If you guys can stop by, we would greatly appreciate it. So all are welcome. Super chats are wide open. There'll be a tier for that. And also we're offering BOGOs for the higher super chat tiers this year. So if you donate 15 or 25, you get 2 songs instead of 1. So there is that. The next day, Christmas Eve, there won't be a whole lot of new stuff. We will have a special TNA throwback on Christmas Eve Saturday. Yes, that episode of Impact Wrestling. It has to be much like the Santa Claus movies. They have to be seen to be believed because they just are that ridiculous, if I'm being honest. But it's a hell of a good time. You see EY there and in classic Showtime Eric Young mode, as only he could do back then. Of course, the Angles were still together. They weren't. She wasn't Karen Jarrett yet. Good stuff. And then the next day, in addition to the Dad's episode, which I'll get to momentarily, the Casa D-18 Studios, in the form of Noah Foster and channel head JJ Williams, have a very special Christmas gift. As in the members only section, they will have a watch along with commentary from Noah and JJ of the greatest wrestling trilogy, at least in my opinion, Ric Flair and Ricky the Dragon Steamboat from 1989, of course, the Chi-Town Rumble, the Clash of the Champions, and Wrestle War, all from February, April, and May 1989. That will go up at midnight, as will our Christmas Day episode of Dad's, which is already in the can. Just got to do a little bit of editing on it. The top 10 Christmas songs about Santa Claus. We can confirm that Santa himself will be making an appearance, so be looking for that. We also got a vote from the people at home as to which song was the definitive song about Santa Claus. So you guys will find out the poll results if you don't have access to Twitter, which you should at this point, but that's okay. I'm going to take it down anyway, so it really doesn't matter. December 30th at World's End, Well, then listen to me fucking talking about Pirates of the Caribbean. I don't work for the company anymore. I don't have to do that shit anymore. I'm not sure. I don't even try to be at this point for this damn company. World's End from AEW will be live in Long Island at the famous Nassau Coliseum, and we will have coverage across the multiverse with our watch along. Also of note that night, if you're not able to be home or you are already going to be out of the house anyway, especially here in SoCal, WWE is running a house show at the Forum that night. And they've advertised CM Punk in the ring against Dominic Mysterio at the Forum.
Ooh.
So if you're in the area and you're not down with AEW, which we understand, I encourage you to give the Forum some business at the end of the day. The fabulous Forum here in LA. And then we end the year with the big one, Open Mic Night, episode 100, the end of year 4, beginning of year 5, the Jeff Meacham Network. Our 2023 highlight reel, which Renegade is meticulously putting together, our coast to coast countdown to 2024. And I can confirm, I don't have the people yet, but I do have the means to procure cameos, whether they be actually from Cameo or just people popping in and saying hello. We will have special guests throughout episode 100 as we count down to 2024 across the multiverse. And that was your slightly slower than Excalibur promotional show. Thank you very much.
Very good. Very good. Family, this is my shout out to you. I asked in one of the chat rooms if about Christmas cards. I will be sending Christmas cards at the end of this week. Please DM, private message, text your address. Please. Some of you did. Some of you have not. I want to send Christmas cards out. I have to send out Christmas cards because it's the right thing to do for Christmas. So there's my family shout out. We will come back next week. We will be here at the same time at the same channel with more eliminations, more news, more stats, everything. And if Dori Lou will be here, she'll be here. If not, it'll be another week of the Stat Boy Sports Bar with the brothers. Yes.
Because at the end of the day, if you don't send Christmas cards when you can, I mean...
What are you, a fucking piece of shit?
We had to get in MJF at some point.
Of course.
We know what he's been doing on the red carpet with the Iron Claw premiere. Go see that. That looks like a good show as well. I love you all, family. I'll see you next week for the Stat Girl, for the boss, for the DJ Mud King, who's a heel. See you next week. Stat Boy out.
The Jeff Meacham Network's Multiverse of Media. For over 15 years, the recognized symbol of excellence and the standard bearer in coverage of sports and entertainment.